There's a moment, a flash, really, when you're staring at the dark, sleeping silhouettes of your children in a silent hotel room, and the pain in your chest is so physical, you have to grab the man beside you, your husband, just to remember how to breathe. This is the end game. But let me take you back to where it all began. A drafty lecture hall, a stack of neon orange cardstock, and a love triangle that would define everything. This is the story of how Casey, our narrator, navigated the treacherous waters of being a college senior who felt utterly, crushingly naive. She was looking for a real connection, a profound, intellectual bond, after her last boyfriend, Jay, tearfully yelled across an airplane cabin, accusing her of bottling up her feelings until they burst out like a fire hose. Ouch! The scars from that brutal mid-air breakup were still fresh, leaving her uninhibited in her sexuality, but intensely guarded in her heart. The hook that changed everything was an absurd assignment, a contemporary take on a Bacon essay. Casey, pulling an all-nighter, used the only paper available, thick, gaudy orange cardstock left over from a Halloween party. Her professor performed the essay to the class, giving it more life and humor than I imagined it had. This is when copper-haired Sam, a scholarly, intense senior from the honors program, noticed her. Sam was the scholar, the kind of guy who ran things by the TAs and spoke in halting, articulate bursts about Cromwell and the Rump Parliament. The initial courtship was almost comically intellectual, involving silent walks across campus to her modern furniture class, where she mostly slept, and a brutal, awkward movie date to see The Deer Hunter. The awkwardness, oh my God, was intense. The movie was long and brutal, and Sam sat beside her like a stranger. But then he unveiled the ultimate lure, a professor's house. Dr. Gastrell, a Milton scholar on sabbatical in Oxford, had entrusted the place to Sam and his roommate, Yash. This house was a set piece from an old movie. Deep navy blue living room walls, a striped couch, and a study lined floor to ceiling with books, complete with a leather chair and a desk drawer full of neatly nestled pipes. It was an intoxicating world of intellectual prestige, and Casey was drawn in. Sam and Casey shared a stiff beer on the couch, picking at their labels in silence until the front door slammed open. Enter Yash, the second roommate, the guy with the thick black ponytail. Yash was everything Sam wasn't: loud, funny, emotionally available, and completely unashamed of his recent dating disaster, which he called a doozy of a daisy. He instantly broke the tension, and for the first time, Casey and Sam both looked relieved that there were three of them. The kissing, though, was electric. The stiffness dissolved as they made out on that striped couch in broad daylight. Casey thought Sam was the one who could reach her, but then came the red flag. The Friday night dinner turned into a pizza party with Yash and their obnoxious ginger-curled friend, Ivan. Ivan, the literary snob who knew her past dates, quickly renamed her Jordan Baker, after the cool, detached woman in The Great Gatsby. Oof, major shade! After they all drank sickly sweet Riesling from impossibly thin, bluebell-shaped glasses, and Casey shocked them all by shooting the moon in hearts, Sam finally took her upstairs to his room. He pulled her onto Dr. Gastrell's tall double bed, and the desire was immediate, careening. But just as Casey's fingers reached for his zipper, a hard no was uttered. Sam stopped her cold without an explanation before frantically fingering her to make up for it. Humiliated, Casey pulled her pants back on, feeling that familiar, awful paranoia that Yash and Ivan knew exactly what had happened. Sam, in a panic, grabbed her, lips in her hair, begging her to stay, whispering, "I can explain." She relented, but they lay under the sheets, fully clothed, spooning in awkward, riotous misery. The emotional hang-up, the inability to fully commit, was Sam's defining feature, and that's the tragedy of their relationship. The attraction was there, but the emotional architecture was flawed. Casey eventually understands that Sam will never truly see her. He's too wrapped up in the idea of a literary girl, a Jordan Baker, and his real crush is the untouchable goddess, Lara Mertens. The relationship fizzles, marked by an apology note from Sam, a screw you of sorts, that simply says, "Heart the lover." But here's the real twist, the victory, the life you build, when you choose someone who sees your whole messy self. Casey falls for the other man, Yash, or as we know him in the future, Silas. Silas, the roommate who was the first to make her laugh, the one who didn't care about the intellectual theater. They build a life together, complete with two boys, Harry and Jack. a life full of love that eclipses the collegiate drama. The story truly ends not with a romantic flourish, but with the heartbreaking, real-world struggle of raising a child with serious medical issues. Little Jack, their precious boy, has an illness that requires constant, painful attention, shaved heads, constant surgeries, and the awful, terrifying episodes of breath panic. Casey and Silas Yash face this despair together, their shared exhaustion and love cementing a bond that is anything but naive or guarded. It's a love that is honest, deeply lived, and tested by the cruelest possible circumstances. As Silas pulls her closer in the hotel bed after yet another agonizing day, he whispers, "Casey, you're here," reminding her that presence is the only real measure of love. It leaves us wondering, is the lover defined by the person who sets your heart on fire with intellectual longing and desire, or the one who simply stays beside you when the world is ending? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And hey, if you loved this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more dramatic recaps. We'll be here waiting for you.